Hello, welcome to Cracking the Cryptic and a puzzle involving modifiers, which is always fun. And this is a modifier rule I either haven't seen before or have forgotten attempting before, where the modifiers all have the value of 5. It's an intriguing idea. It's by R. Mullenix, who I think has featured on the channel before, whose name always reminds me of the P.G. Wodehouse character, Mr. Mulliner. I'm a big fan of the P.G. Wodehouse books, of which there are multitudinous numbers. And anyway, there are multitudinous numbers in this. The puzzle itself is called 17 Fives. Now, coming up in a couple of days' time, we've got the new Patreon reward. It is Duality 3 by Skunkworks. I've been going through the puzzles. They are absolutely first rate. Really interesting puzzles to try. And we look forward to your reactions to them. There are plenty, I'm going to say that. And by plenty, I might even mean 20. I'm not sure what the exact number is, and it may not even have been finalized but when I'm recording this. But there are lots of them, and it's getting on for a score of puzzles. It's over a dozen, I know that. Anyway, we're going to look at this puzzle today. No, hang on. Apps. We have... As well, also on Patreon we have gridogram videos, new one out, and connections videos and some crossword videos, and there will be a new one of those very shortly as well. But there's also loads of content on Patreon. There's Sandra and Nala's Back to the Roots last month. We will bring you something in the middle of next month as well. Loads of Sudoku as well. And loads of Sudoku in our apps, which feature line Sudoku, domino Sudoku, and of course classic Sudoku too, and the Worms, so do check those out. Now, let's have a look at this puzzle, 17 Fives by R. Mullenix, and go through the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 will appear in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. And there are middlers, 9 middler cells in the grid, 1 in each row, column and 3 by 3 box, and each contain a different digit. The value of a middler cell is 5, regardless of the digit in the cell. If 2 cells are joined by a green line, the values of those cells have a difference of at least 5. On a V clue, the 2 values have a sum to 5. On an X clue, the 2 values sum to 10. And cells separated by a white dot have consecutive values. Now the grey lines, we haven't mentioned them, they're palindromes. So they read the same in terms of their values, both forward and backward. And remember that the value of a middler cell is always 5. So that's going to add a certain degree of variability to the puzzle, I imagine. Do give it a try on the first link under the video. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. So what does this 5 rule mean for normally for the rules as we would apply them to V's and X's and green lines and grey lines and white dots? So normally I would tell you that on a green line you cannot have a digit 5 because there's no Sudoku value next to it. I would also say that therefore digits must vary between higher than 5 and lower than 5 to maintain the difference. And when I say vary, I mean alternate. And thirdly, that you have to be very careful placing 4 and 6 because 4 always has to have 9 as its neighbour on both sides if necessary. And 6 needs 1. Now that's quite interesting because this rule, it's actually going to be more restrictive, the middler idea, rather than less restrictive as applies to green lines. Yeah, this is really strange. Okay, I mean, I saw immediately that the 5 is going to cause a problem on X because I can no longer say about an X that there can't be a 5 on it. Because if 5, the digit, is next to a middler cell that can have any digit in it, then you can make up 10 in 2 letters. But I don't think 5 can ever appear on a green line. Because, and I also think the middlers can't appear on a green line as well. And I think that's right. Yeah, no, it is right. I mean, I don't know why I'm spending so long thinking about it. I just want to check it's right. Every digit in this puzzle has a Sudoku value between 1 and 9. Obviously, ordinary 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, they've all got a value of 9. Now, the reason the puzzle is called 17 fives is that one of the middlers is carrying a 5, and that has a value of 5. The other 8 5s in the puzzle all have a value of 5, and the other 8 middlers in the puzzle all have a value of 5, and that's going to come to 17 cells. But what we can do is highlight all the green cells in the puzzle and say 5 and middlers cannot appear on those cells. And I think the same is true on a V. It's not necessarily true on an X, as I just described. But V can't contain a 5 because it must contain genuine values of 1, 2, 3, or 4. You could even do that as a pencil mark. Now, I'm also going to say every row and column could have up to 2 digits that have a value of 5, but no more. What about this cell? This is because this is on a green line, this is a genuine value digit. Therefore, and you can't put 5 on a green line, so it doesn't have a value of 5. Therefore, on this X, this digit can't have a value of 5. And now we've got an apparent problem in column 4. We've got 8 cells that cannot have a value of 5 here. There's only going to be one place in the puzzle where a 5, where there's only, how do I express this? There's only going to be one column in the puzzle where there's only one digit with a value of 5. That is going to be the column with a 5 as a middler in. And we've found it, basically. I'm going to make the middlers red. And we've found 5 as a middler in this column because none of the other cells can have a value of 5. So none of these 8 cells can either have a 5 in or be a middler. So those are both concentrated here. Now in this row, we've had the middler and we've had the 5. These other cells can't. This digit is a 4 or a 6 on the white dot because that definitely has a value of 5. Oh, these are all non-middlers now because we've had the middler in the box. And these now have to have values like these, which are not 5s, which are genuine values, and therefore these are not middlers. And we've found... No, we've not just found one middler. What we've done is we've found the only middler that is a 5. So every other row and column in the puzzle and box, apart from row 9, column 4, box 8, every other row, column and box has to have 2 cells in it that have a value of 5, the 5 and the middler. And this top row has to have 2 cells that have a value of 5. Now you could theoretically put one here, but one of them's always going to end up on the X. And when one of them ends up on the X, both of them have to end up on the X. So these 2 cells are... Oh, I'm going to need a colour for the middlers. Let's make it pink. So these are a red... Oh, I was going to make the 5s red. Maybe I need a colour for middlers and a colour for 5s. Okay, let's have a... Anyway, these are a 5 and a middler. I'm going to have to decide which colour is which. Let's make the middlers pink and the 5s red. This is yellow now, weirdly, because we suddenly used up the 2, as we did for the whole box. And now look at column 1. We've got a 5 or a middler here. I don't know which it is. Its value is 5, but that's on the palindrome, so the value of this cell is 5. So that's a 5 or a middler too. And that's the second one in its column, so everything else in the column is yellow. And now on this palindrome, this digit is yellow, so it's not a 5 or a middler, and therefore this digit is not a 5 or a middler, and I can colour that yellow. Now I've got one value of 5 to come in box 7, one to come in box 4. This one is the middle of the palindrome, so it doesn't affect other palindrome cells. Now, what's the relation between these two? Ah, yeah, that's great. Is it great? No. What I am, okay, this is now, in fact, both green lines are thoroughly normal green lines from the point of view of they don't have any 5s on, they must alternate between high and low, and there are places where you can't put 4 or 6 because their two neighbours would see each other. If I highlight all of those cells, you can't put 4 or 6 in any of them, because they're two neighbours. For a 4, the two neighbours would both have to be 9. So these are all selected from 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. I mean, I know that's over pencil marking, but it might help me understand what's going on. Then these other cells which could contain 4 or 6, I could pencil mark with 8 digits, but I'm not going to go that crazy quite. Now, what I was getting excited about here is that this digit cannot be a 5 value, because that can't be 4 or 6. It was right to get excited. That goes yellow. This is a 5 value. I might be just doing this colour scheme throughout and then working out at the end which ones are 5s and which ones are middlers. Ah, no, I think we're in business again here. Right, this cell, where does this go? It's either a 5 or a middler. If it's a middler, where does the middler go in box 5? It has to go in one of those two. If it's a 5, where does the 5 go in box 5? It has to go in one of those two. So one of these will end up with a value of 5, and it's just like the X up here. Once one of them ends up with a value of 5, they both have to have a value of 5, and we can yellow everything else in the box and in the column. And now we've only got 2 cells left in box 2 that both have a value of 5. No more left to go in row 5 because we've found both. Now, they're either in both of these cells in row 7 or avoiding them both, the 5 values. Might not be able to do much more at the moment. Either all of those 3 are 5s, or I'm trying to think of something clever other than to say, or they're not, and I'm failing. Okay, I'm going to have to think about numbers in the rest of the puzzle, because we've done quite a lot of colouring there, not identified 5s and middlers, but something must be going on. So let's have a look at column 4 where all the activity is. We've got a single 5. Ah, lovely. Well, almost lovely. Yes, it is lovely. Where is 6 in this column? Oh no, it's not lovely. I was going to say 6 is there or there, but it could be here. I mean, the other thing I was thinking of saying is that 6 is either on this X together with 4, or it's here. Okay, that's really good. That's really good. I'm going to prove that this V can't be a 4-1 pair, because of where 6 is in this column. It's either on this X with a 4, and then that can't be a 4-1 pair, or 6 is sitting here with a 1 here, and then this can't be a 1-4 pair. So either way round, that is a 2-3 pair. Now I can take 2, 3 out of all those cells. Now I know they have to alternate high, low, high, and the low digit is a 1. And now I know the alternation all the way for this line. That's low, this is going to be low, this is high, this is going to be low, this is going to be high, this is going to be low, high, low. Now, does that tell me about this? Yes, it does. Here we have 2 of each. So the 2 low digits on this line are going to be 1 and 4. The 4 is going to go in one end next to a 9, and the other low digit is going to be 1. So that pair is now a 1-9 pair. Now you can ask me where do 4 and 6 go in this column, and I can tell you that one of them is going to end up on the X, therefore both of them have to be on it. And that is left to be 7 or 8. This one is 2. That means this is low, this is high, this is 4, this is 6. And we've got our first digits in the puzzle after 12 minutes. And I'm really admiring this puzzle for its flow. Right, I know that this value is not 5, because we know that the two values of 5 in this box are there. So this value must be 3. This value is 8. 3 has to appear again on the palindrome there. These two now can't be 3s. That can't be a 9, and that means this can't be 4, and it also can't be 1. So we've got a 2 there, a 1 here. This can't be 3 by Sudoku. It can't be 4 by Whisper, because that's not able to be 9 anymore. So we've found a 2. This is now 3, surrounded by 8 and 9, and this digit becomes a 7. That gives us 8 near the bottom of the column. This can't be 2 by Sudoku. This can't be 6 by Sudoku. I was going to say that stopped this being 4. It hasn't. This can't be 3, though. I'd be a bit surprised if it was 4 surrounded by 2 9s, but I don't know. Those obviously both have the value of 5. What about these digits? At the top, it can't be 1, 3, 6, or 8. At the bottom, it can't be 2 or 5. So this is 4, 7, or 9. Okay, how about trying that on this? This digit can't be 6, 4, 9, 3, or 1. This one can't be 8, 5, or 2. So this is a pair of 7s. We know they're not 5s because of where values of 5 have to be in column 6, say. Now this one can't be 6, 4, 7, 9, 8. And down here it can't be 1 or 5. So that's left to be 2 or 3 in both positions. This is very clever stuff. Right. There is a 1 either there or there. The middle of a palindrome, again, not very helpful. This X, you see, I have to be careful. This could be a 4, 6 pair, or it could be a 5 middler pair. I don't know the answer. 7, 1, 2, 3. This one is 1 or 4. There's probably some Sudoku available to do. I know that 3's in one of those positions. Oh, 8 has appeared in this box. That's giving us plenty of Sudoku to do. 7, 9. Now we suddenly have 4 on the end of the palindrome. So that's a 4. That's a 6. This one is not going to have a 5 in it. This is 2 or 6. This digit is a naked single. It sees 719, 438, 6, and 2. So I get to write 5 in there. And this is going to be either a 2 or a 6, acting as a middler. That can't be 8 anymore. This could be a 4, you know. In fact, by Sudoku, 4, it can't be a 4, sorry. I'm sitting there saying it could be a 4 as it's sitting on top of a 4. So that's a 1. Now this is at liberty to be 7 or 9. But in this column, we've had 1, 4, 2, 6, 3. This digit sees 7, 8, and 9. That is a naked 5. The rest of the ones in the column are from 7, 8, 9. This top row needs a 4 and a 6. That one must be a 6. That's a 4. So now I should really start changing the colours, shouldn't I? Let's make 5s blue. Now that is a middler, so that can't be a middler and is blue. And we'll make these middlers all red. That was my original plan. Let's go back to it. So one of those is a 5 and one is a middler. So we're doing a bit better, and we know, that middler contains a 6, so this one can't, because it was one of the rules was that each contained a different digit. So that's now a 2. I've got this coloured wrong. That is blue, and that is a 5. Now, blue is in one of those 3 cells. That is a 3-8 pair by Sudoku in the column. This digit is part of a 7-9 pair, and that's a 4. 2, 4, 5, 3, 8, 6. This is a naked single. It's a 9. It sees all the other Sudoku digits. So then I get a 7 there. This digit is a 1. Now, do I know which of those is the middler? No. I've only lost 2 and 6 so far. I do know that 5 is in one of these cells because the blues are always 5s. This is a middler that is not 7, 8, 9, 6, 4 or 5, but it also can't be 2, which has appeared as a middler before. So that's 1 or 3. Don't know. 7, 1, 2, 3. There's obviously a 5 here. I still don't know this. Could be 4, 6, or it could be 5 and a middler. This digit, though, is 4 or 6. It sees all the other digits. And now this can't be a 4, 6 pair. So this is 5 and a middler. And this digit is, well, 6 or 8, but genuine yellow. This must have a value of 5 because of the X, and if that's red, this is blue, then this is red, this is blue. The blues are both actual 5s. This digit is a middler, and it has to be 4, 6 or 8, but we've already had 6 as a middler, so it's 4 or 8 there. Now, these are 6, 8, 9 as a triple. Um, 8 is in one of these cells, but I don't know which one. The green lines are pretty much all done. The palindromes are largely done once we make sure those cells end up being the same. The X's are heavily done and the V's done, so the rest is sort of Sudoku and using these middlers. And the digits we haven't had many of them. 6, 2, 1 or 3, 4 or 8. Oh, these are all yellow. Oh, look, we've got blue and red looking at that cell. That's yellow. This is red. So now we've had 1 as a middler, and that must be a 3. And that does do more Sudoku. And look, column 2's finished. This pair, I can place the 1. That must be an 8. This column, that 3, well, the palindrome is telling me this is a 2. That's fine. This digit is a naked 9. That makes that an 8 at the top, and this is a 4, 6 pair. They're all done. This is a 5, 9 pair. We know the order, and we know that 9 is the naughty middler. We've got 1 5 left to put in the puzzle. That's done. We've got 2 red cells. Oh, hang on. I've blown it here. I don't have a red cell in column 4. Oh, I don't need one. Oh, that's all right. Oh, I haven't blown it. This is both blue and red, so my colour scheme lost control a bit there. Right, so we've actually had 6, 2, 1, 5, 3 and 9 as the middlers so far. This is 4 or 8. These are all yellow. We need 4, 7 and 8 in the final 3 columns as the middlers. This group of cells is 2, 3, 7. 7 could be a middler. Yes, it is going to be, because those aren't middlers. We've had the middler in this row. One of these is a middler, and we've only got 4, 7 and 8 to find. So the 7 is going to be a middler in one of those 2. And the 8 is going to be somewhere up here as a middler, because it can't be 4. This must be 4 as a middler here. That lets me finish the row. If I could type, I could do it. Now, this can't be an 8 anymore by Sudoku, so it's not the middler. and that can't be the middler. This is the middler and the 8, and now this is the middler and the 7, and all our artifacts are done. We can just fill in Sudoku numbers now. A 1 and a 4 here, that one can't be 9, this one can't be 8, this is the only place for 8 in the column. Let's just look down the column as well. That digit is a naked 6. Then I'm going to look along this column instead. 4 there, 9 and 3, they just get written in. This is a 3, 1, 2, 7. That one's a 2, but I can't determine the 1, 7 pair. This has become a 6, that's a 9. This is something to finish the column. 1, 2 and 7 still to place. That must be the 1, that must be the 2, that must be the 7. 3 and 8. And we've just got 2 cells left to do, and we're done. And that wasn't too hard in the end. I thought it was going to be much harder. It was really neat, had a lovely flow to it. And there we go. The solution is correct. Super puzzle by R, and really enjoyable. Not that complicated. I find it intriguing how the rule really loosened the restrictions on X cells, but increased them on green cells. That's very weird. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and playing along. I hope you had a go at that before watching the video. If you didn't, I hope you enjoyed the video. And I will see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.